Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves You GB here on FlossTube, but also over on Instagram and Etsy as well. Welcome to FlossMas! It is the 1st of December today and I'm starting my daily programmes of FlossMas. So I so enjoyed doing it last year, and so I can't wait to do it again this year. If you weren't with me last year, I kind of did, I suppose, a little format for each day. So I would show you kind of what I've been stitching, I would show you a freebie every day, and I would also show you a couple of finishes, something that I'd finished in the previous year, just as a kind of recap for all those people who are new to my channel as well, and for me to go back through and actually see all the different things that I've finished. That's a big old pom-pom, isn't it? So I'm going to do that again this year. I have got 58 finishes at the moment this year, and so I can't wait to show them to you and go back through and remember all the cool things that I've stitched. Most of them are fully finished as well, which I'm pretty proud of. There's just a few that aren't. So I'm going to show you some finishes, and then I've got a couple of calendars. So I've got my Patchwork Rabbit calendar here, and I also showed you in my last floss tube that I treated myself to the Marks and Spencer's one as well, and quite a few people said that they were wanting to see what was in there, so I'm going to open that one as well. I'm going to open the Patchwork Rabbit calendar right at the end, so if you don't want to see what's in the Patchwork Rabbit calendar, then just cut off the last few seconds of the video and you won't see what's in it. I'm going to be putting them out every morning in the morning, so again, if you don't want to see what's in the advent calendars and you want to open yours first, then just make sure you watch it later on in the day. I'll start a playlist as well, and you can just bounce through them one by one in a big block if you want to get some stitching done. So that's kind of how I'm going to try and get it to work. Let's get on with it now. I'm feeling suddenly really festive, so I don't know quite what's happened, but the 1st of December has just jumped out from nowhere as far as I'm concerned. If you ask me in my brain what the time of year is, I'm still thinking it's about the first week of November, but it's the 1st of December tomorrow. Right, before we start, I have got an FFO to show you. I've got a whip that I've been working on, a couple of whips that I've been working on as part of my stitching. But before that, I just want to make you aware of a company that I really like to use called TouchNote. And I thought I would mention them to you for a couple of reasons. So TouchNote are a company that print your own cards primarily. They do other little bits and bobs as well, and canvases and whatever, but they're primarily known for their postcards and their cards. And I wanted to bring them to your attention if you weren't aware, because lots of people have been telling me that they now have, through trading floss drops, lots and lots of new friends all around the world. And I thought if you might want to send them a Christmas card. Now, I have designed a little Christmas card. Of course, it had to be the Ugly Duchess, and I've already sent a few of these off, and this one I had sent to me. If you want to do a blank card and have it sent to you, then you can, and they even give you another envelope to post it out in. Now, the reason that I like these, one, they are really nice thick cardstock, and you can have a coloured inside, and I think that's really nice. Second thing is they cost the same to post anywhere in the world. So the postage is included with the card anywhere in the world. And the reason that that works is because obviously you upload your digital image, and now loads of you have got digital images from doing the floss drops. You upload your image, make it into the card, you can write whatever you want on the inside and then have it posted to your stitchy friends. And they transfer it digitally and it's printed in the country that it's going to be sent in. So it's only ever going to be local post, which I think is fabulous. And it also means that they get there a lot quicker as well. You don't have to worry about international posting. So the other thing that I think is really good about these, as I said, it's a really thick cardstock. So the reason I've got this is because what I want to do actually is to cut the front off and punch some holes in her and turn it into a floss card for a bigger project, just to keep in my stitchy bag And you can see it's a really nice glossy card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a code down below, and that code will get you £10 off. It's really good. You pay every month and you get a certain number of cards per month, depends on how many you want. And you can just cancel anytime you like. There's no tie-ins. You just, if you don't want it anymore, you just cancel it. I started getting it last year for thank you cards for Christmas and thank you cards for my daughter's birthday. I just kept getting them because I kept finding people that I wanted to send cards to. So anyway, that's TouchNote. Highly recommended, highly recommended. Anyway, what else comes highly recommended? Made by Michelle McGraw's latest floss tube. That comes highly recommended. I have never seen a Christmas finish that I like better than her nativity scene that she's done in the barn. So if you haven't seen that already, get on it. Get on and have a look at that. It's brilliant. Right, freebie. So the freebie that I am going to share with you today is part of my stitching. Okay, so I'll show you what else I've been stitching after I've done this. And this freebie comes from a Facebook group called Sampler Makers. And it's a freebie designed by Laurie Blacklin from Not Forgotten Farm. And I saw it in a post on Sampler Makers that somebody had done for Black November, and everyone was like, what is that chart, where has that chart come from? And so we found where it came from. It was actually in the files. So this is the chart. Now you probably can't see it very well from there, but I have nearly finished stitching it because it's a really cute little chart and it's not very, doesn't take very long to stitch. So you'll have to forgive me. Nothing is going to be ironed this FlossMas because it will be a direct choice between doing FlossMas or ironing. So it's not going to be ironed. So let me see if I can hold that up nice and close. So you can see the nice bold Sampler Makers, and then it's got this beautiful leaf border underneath and, whoops, and across the top. Now I decided to do mine in 2 colours of sulky because sulky is my jam at the moment, and I am doing them in the lettering I've done in this lovely brown grey, which is sulky 1, 2, 3, 4. Amazing. And this one is the kind of whitey cream. It's almost got a grey to it. It's almost got the same kind of grey that the brown's got to it, which is why I picked it. And it's 1071. So let's see if I can get this to show a bit better. And I'm going to finish this into a little pillow, I think, a little long pillow. So it's got this really nice leaf border along the bottom, and it'll have exactly the same along the top. And I think I want to put a couple of buttons on as well, a couple of nice mother of pearl buttons. So that's the freebie. I will put the link to the Facebook group. You do need to be a member of the Facebook group to access the files, but it is well worth it. Well worth it. I have also done a little bit of stitching on my Deck the Halls. So I've done a little bit more stitching than when I last showed it to you. So I'll just give you a little sneak peek. And I've got stock, hang, stock, dress, R. And it's going to be dress the tree. And I'm going to pinch Cardiff Stitcher's idea. Instead of putting white stitches in there, I'm going to put some little beads. So that's where I am with that. And my FFO. I wonder if you can guess who she is. I have FFO'd, but not completely dealt with the back, so apologies if you can see any stray fabric. I have FFO'd Mary Small. There she is. Now the thing I absolutely love about this, as I've said to you many a time, is her little error there. So I framed it to sort of try and highlight it. I've really close framed it on 3 sides and left this nice frame, or this nice bit of frame here, just to emphasise that T. And this is another frame that I got from Scalf Frames. It's actually the same frame excuse me, the same frame that I used for Nessie Mitchell. It is a perfect go-to frame because it's really nicely done and a nice bit of wear, and I think it suits her brilliantly. So she's got a tiny little gap, top, bottom and this side, and then a big gap here. And she is going to be out this weekend. And just so you can see them next to one another. There they are, quite a difference in size. Now a lady asked me what count the original stitch was on, and I haven't measured it, but I would say, I would say it's 10 or 11 count, but I will measure it and I will put it in the details for the chart so you can know what size her original one is. It was stitched with wool, I can tell you that much. So there we go. Right, so that's one finish. That's one finish from my 58. The other two finishes that I've picked out, and I'm just going actually chronologically because I keep all my finishes in an Excel file, and so I've just started at the top and I've gone to find out what they are. So the first one was this one, all the way back in January. So this is October 31st by Blackbird Designs. It was a standalone chart, but it is now in the Winds of Autumn. Winds of Autumn? There's no T in that. Winds of Autumn. Let's try again. Book. And I did it in green. I don't know what green it is. Don't know. If you look back on if you're desperate to know, if you look back on one of my floss tubes for January, I'm sure I'll tell you. And I finished it with this lovely beaded trim. So yeah, you can get this chart now in the Winds of Autumn book, along with lots and lots of other fabulous ones. And the second thing I finished, which was part of my monthly Orny Sal challenge, which things kind of fell apart around September. I might be able to catch up, you never know, was this one, Santa's Workshop. And it's by a designer called the Nebby Needle, N-E-B-B-Y, the Nebby Needle. And it was in a very early Christmas edition of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And it's on the front cover. It's either the 2015 edition or the 2016 edition, but it's on the front cover. So I stitched that on 32 count vintage country mocha, and I used a couple of the Puntini buttons just to give it some dimension, and then I attached it to a key, which I love. Still one of my favourite finishes from this year. So there's my two finishes. Before we get onto the calendar, I've got this to mention. So this is the lovely ornament that Jennifer from Two Tall Stitchers stitched me. There was a lovely smalls exchange organised by Elizabeth Ann from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Thank you, Liz. And she stitched me this, and I had several people ask where it came from. I know it is in the 2015 edition of Just Cross Stitch Ornaments. So that's where it came from. And hasn't she done a brilliant job? Finished into a lovely flat fold. So thanks very much to Elizabeth Ann for organising the exchange, and thanks to Jennifer for stitching that for me. Right, two little bits of haul before I move on to the advent calendars. Couldn't not Mary Snow by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. Now it does say in here that Mary didn't record the year she finished her sampler, or date or location. Something about it makes me think a little bit Welsh. I don't know. But she certainly seems to have fit with a lot of Welsh samplers, which is probably why I'm attracted to her. So even if she's not Welsh, she certainly looks like a Welshie. And then I got this one as well by Beth Twist, easy for me to say, not. heartstring samplery, and it's called Merry Birds. And I love, love, love that one. And I got those from Arts and Designs up in Dumfries in Scotland. If you've never heard of Arts and Designs before, they sell lots and lots of cross-stitch charts, materials, threads, all sorts of stuff. And if you're buying charts, postage is always free. So that's really, really good. If you add to it and get floss or fabric and things like that, then they do charge postage at cost. But other than that, it's free postage for just charts. Right, the 2 advent calendars now. I've waited all year, literally, all year for this. So, I'm going to do the beauty one first. And so, I need box number 1. Box number 1. So, let's have a look and see what's in box number 1. EH by Emma Hardy, Morning Cleansing Balm. I love trying new things. Is it actually? Ah, it's sealed. I was going to smell it, but I'll give it a go and I'll let you know how I get on. Right, number 1. And again, I've been so good not to do anything. This is quite a flat one. So this is the advent calendar from Patchwork Rabbit, and thank you so much Patchwork Rabbit for doing an advent calendar. And we have got How Appropriate, some Weeks Dye Works Bethlehem. I have never heard of that before, but look at the colours. Greens and purples and pinks. That is truly amazing. That's it for me till tomorrow. Stay classy, stitchers.